I didn't think one sentence could change the way someone looks at you. Not shouting, not betrayal. Just a joke tossed out in front of a table full of people wrapped in laughter and wine. It was my sister's birthday dinner, the kind where everyone talks too loudly and orders too much food. My husband, Daniel, sat beside me, quiet as always, smiling politely, letting everyone else dominate the conversation. He had never been the loudest person in the room, but he was the most dependable one. 10 years of marriage had proven that. Across the table, my cousin was complaining about her husband forgetting their anniversary. Someone else joked about men being useless. The conversation turned into playful spouse bashing, everyone laughing, exaggerating, performing for attention. Then someone nudged me. "What about Daniel? He seems perfect." I laughed, feeling bold after a couple glasses of wine. "Oh, please," I said. "At this point, I think I need a new husband." The table burst into laughter. I expected Daniel to laugh too. He didn't. Instead, he slowly set his fork down, wiped his mouth with a napkin, and turned toward me. His face wasn't angry. It wasn't hurt in an obvious way. It was calm, unnervingly calm. "Go ahead," he said quietly. The laughter died instantly. "What?" I asked, still half smiling. "If you think you need a new husband," he continued in that same cold tone, "you're free to find one." Something in my chest tightened. "Oh my God, Daniel, relax," I said quickly. It was a joke. He nodded once. "I know." Then he picked up his glass and drank his water like nothing had happened. No argument, no scene, just silence. The rest of dinner felt awkward. People avoided eye contact. Conversations restarted in forced, unnatural ways. I told myself he was overreacting, that he'd get over it by the time we got home. But on the drive back, he didn't say a word. Streetlights slid across his face as he drove, jaw set, eyes forward. Not angry, not emotional, just distant. "You're really going to be weird about this?" I finally asked. "I'm not being weird," he said calmly. "You basically told me to go find another husband. You said you needed one." "I was joking." "I understood the joke," he replied. "I just answered it." His calmness irritated me more than shouting would have. "Normal people would laugh it off," I snapped. "Normal people don't publicly replace their spouse for entertainment," he said quietly. That shut me up. When we got home, he went through his routine, hung up his keys, took off his shoes, walked to the bedroom. No slamming doors, no dramatic gestures. That somehow made it worse. I followed him. "Are you seriously mad?" He looked at me for a long moment. "I'm not mad," he said. "I'm disappointed." The word hit harder than anger. "It was one sentence," I said defensively. "No," he replied softly. "It was the way you said it, the way everyone laughed, the way you didn't even look at me afterward." I opened my mouth, then stopped. Because he was right, I hadn't looked at him at all. "I didn't think it would hurt you," I admitted. "That's the problem," he said. "You didn't think about me." He sat on the edge of the bed, shoulders slumped slightly, like something heavy was pressing down on him. "Do you know what it feels like," he asked, "to sit next to your wife while she jokes about replacing you and everyone enjoys it?" My throat tightened. "No." "It feels like you're already gone," he said. Tears burned behind my eyes. "I didn't mean it," I whispered. "I believe you," he said, "but sometimes jokes reveal things we don't say out loud." He stood up and walked to the closet, pulling out a duffel bag. My heart started pounding. "What are you doing?" "Nothing dramatic," he said. "I'm staying at my brother for a few days." Panic surged through me. "You're leaving because of a joke." "I'm leaving because I need space from someone who can humiliate me and call it humor." Tears spilled down my face. "Daniel plays." He kept packing, movements slow and precise. "I've spent 10 years trying to be the man you deserve," he said. "Tonight I felt like I was just the easiest target." "That's not true." "Then why did you say it?" I had no answer. Because the truth was embarrassing, I had wanted attention, laughter, to feel interesting. "I'm sorry," I whispered. He paused, looking at me with eyes that were soft but distant. "I know," he said, "but sorry doesn't erase how something feels." He zipped the bag and walked toward the door. "Are you coming back?" I asked, voice shaking. He stopped. "That depends," he said quietly, "on whether you want me or just someone safe to joke about." Then he left. The sound of the door closing echoed through the house like something breaking. The next few days were unbearable. No angry messages, no dramatic texts, just short updates. "I'm okay. Don't worry. I'll handle the bills." His calmness made it worse. On the fourth day, I drove to his brother's house. When he opened the door, he looked surprised but not unhappy to see me. I just want to talk, I said. We sat on the couch, space between us that felt bigger than the room. I was stupid, I said, selfish, I hurt you for a laugh. He listened quietly. I don't want a new husband, I continued. I want you. He studied my face for a long time. Do you know why I answered the way I did? He asked. I shook my head. Because if someone says they want to replace me, I won't fight to stay where I'm not wanted. My chest ached. I do want you, I whispered. I just forgot how lucky I was. He leaned back, exhaling slowly. I don't need perfection, he said. I just need respect. I respect you, I said immediately. Then don't trade me for a joke. Tears ran down my face. I won't, I promised. After a long silence, he reached out and took my hand. Not dramatic, not passionate, just familiar. I'm not done with us, he said, but I needed you to understand. Relief flooded through me so strongly I almost collapsed. That night, as we drove home together, the silence felt different, fragile but hopeful. I learned something I'll never forget. Sometimes the most damaging thing in a relationship isn't betrayal or lies. It's making the person you love feel replaceable, even for a moment. And I never made that joke again.